Episode 209. After the meal, Han Li had the Qin estate servants clear the banquet table, and the group began discussing how to deal with the Black Fiend sect and their assault on the imperial city. Lu Jing immediately declared he would bear the full consequences of violating the seven sects prohibition, so Chen and the other junior disciples set aside their lingering concerns and agreed to go along.
According to the intelligence from Junior Brother, aside from the so-called four great blood families, the other high-ranking members like the Altar Masters should still be presiding over sect affairs across Yu, so the odds of them all gathering inside the Imperial Palace at the same time are extremely slim. With our current numbers, dealing with them should be more than enough. We should strike swiftly and decisively to avoid any complications from a drawn-out affair.
The others found the reasoning sound, so they decided to let the far-traveled Chen and her companions rest for a day, planning to infiltrate the imperial palace on the second night while the mortals within the capital still slept soundly and strike to eliminate the evil. Han Li watched them grow more and more excited, a faint smile on his face. But inside he was sneering.
Those fools actually think the Black Fiend sect's men are made of mud? That they'll be that easy to deal with? After this battle ends, who knows how many will still be standing here. If I hadn't learned something from that Prince Shao that might prove useful for my future tribulation pills, I'd never have taken such a crazy risk as breaking into the Imperial Palace. If others want to cultivate some evil technique through blood sacrifices, that's their business. The victims' families and friends will seek revenge on their own. I just need to let that information slip. As for punishing evil and upholding justice, I've always believed in doing only what one can manage. If there's no risk and it doesn't take much effort, I'm happy to lend a hand. But if the opponent is too strong and it's none of my business, I'm not about to risk my life meddling in someone else's affairs. That sixth senior brother Wu Xuan was insufferable. But I can't deny he was looking out for himself by washing his hands of this matter early on. Otherwise, once the initial rush of passion fades, you might just end up risking your very soul being scattered to the winds.
Han Li had to grit his teeth and agree to storm the Black Fiend sect's lair with this group, a direct violation of his core principle of self-preservation. But this risk, he decided, was worth taking. Because Han Li knew all too well that his own spirit root was far too poor, so if there was anything that could increase his chances of forming a core, he wouldn't let it slip through his fingers. Besides, he was still fairly confident he could make it out unscathed. To that end, he had even prepared a trump card to ensure his safety on this trip. After all, with Han Li's meticulous caution, why would he have agreed to this for no reason? When the night grew deep and still, Han Li slipped out of his room. Without a word to anyone, he took to the air and flew alone toward the imperial city. Han Li stood on the wind spirit boat, a faint smile crossing his face as he gazed at the massive black silhouette before him, the towering imperial city gates, before he simply flew past them in a single, effortless bound.
That so-called ban from the seven sects? I never took it seriously to begin with. I only follow rules that benefit me. To think a mere empty decree could restrict my movements, that's utterly absurd. I have never been one to blindly obey.
By the time Han Li's inner sneer had faded, he was already soaring 100 jang above the imperial palace. Under the cover of pitch-black night, Han Li scanned his surroundings in silence, his gaze sweeping only toward the most secluded and inconspicuous corners. Suddenly, his eyes lit up, and he flew straight toward an imperial garden overgrown with green bamboo. Reaching the bamboo grove, he glanced around cautiously before retracting his spiritual chi and descending slowly.
The Black Fiend sect might control the entire imperial palace, but they couldn't possibly have placed spies everywhere. And even if there were that many sentries, with my perfected concealed breath art, I'd have nothing to fear. Besides, I already had the Black Fiend sect's usual sentry layout completely memorized from that young prince. Even if they've made changes now, as long as I don't barge into any heavily guarded key areas, I'm not afraid.
This place, clearly, was one of those forgotten corners of the imperial palace. Not only was the bamboo grove littered with dead leaves and rotting debris, its faint stench of decay hanging in the air, but the branches and leaves, long left untrimmed, had grown into a wild, impenetrable thicket. Han Li looked over the bamboo grove, a look of satisfaction crossing his face. He formed a hand seal and cast a soundproof barrier. He shrouded the entire bamboo grove within it, then, with a grave expression, retrieved a stack of formation flags and a formation plate from his storage pouch. This was the improved reversal 5 elements formation that Qi Yunxiao had gifted him.
With this reversed 5 elements formation in place, even if that black fiend cult leader is formidable, I should be able to hold my ground.
Han Li steeled himself and stepped into the pitch-black bamboo grove. 2 hours later, Han Li emerged slowly, his face etched with exhaustion. Time had been tight, he'd only managed to set up a small portion of the formation, but it should be enough. Han Li swept his gaze across the surroundings. Seeing no one had been here, he relaxed and dismissed the soundproof barrier, then summoned the wind spirit boat and rode the wind away. Han Li ventured deep into the palace alone, setting up the grand formation without a sound, never once alerting a single member of the Black Fiend sect. The 4 blood warriors were on high alert, just as the Black Fiend sect leader had ordered, but as Han Li had anticipated, they had only set up a dense network of sentries around the cold palace where the sect leader was in secluded meditation. Everywhere else, on the contrary, it was even more lax than before, and that was one of the reasons Han Li could slip in and out so smoothly. By the time he flew back to the Qin estate, the sky hadn't yet brightened. Han Li decided not to bother sleeping and simply sat cross-legged on the bed, cultivating until dawn. When morning came, he walked out of the room as if nothing had happened, gathered with the others in a main hall and chatted and laughed as usual, never once mentioning the reverse 5 elements formation in the face of the impending battle.
The fewer people who know about a life-saving trump card like this, the better. If we can win this battle without even needing to use the formation, that would please me even more.
Lu Jing and the other Yellow Maple Valley disciples had no idea what Han Li was thinking, but the moment the night battle came up, every single one of them wore an eager expression, their faces tinged with excitement. Aside from a handful like Lu Jing, most of them had never fought a Foundation establishment cultivator before, which was precisely why Han Li had little faith in this operation.
I've always believed that a cultivator who hasn't been tempered by real combat, no matter how high their cultivation, will surely suffer a great loss when facing an experienced opponent, and might even lose their life because of it. Every cultivator who reaches Foundation establishment has endured countless hardships to get where they are today. But after tonight's battle, many of them might well end up buried here. Truly a pity.
Junior Han, would you walk with me?
Chen Xiaochen, who had been chatting with Zhong Wenyang, suddenly turned to Han Li and invited him without warning. This one remark left not only Han Li stunned, but the other fellow disciples of Chen Xiaochen as well, their mouths agape in disbelief. Now they all stared at Han Li and their usually ice-cold little junior sister with disbelief. Seeing Han Li standing there looking a bit dazed, Zhong Wenyang's eyes flickered. A thought seemed to cross her mind, and she suddenly leaned in to whisper something in Chen Xiaochen's ear. At once, this senior sister Chen's face flushed crimson. After shooting her a sharp glare, she strode out of the hall with deliberate poise, clearly expecting Han Li to follow.
Little junior brother, what are you standing there for? With a beauty like Junior Chen waiting outside, what are you hesitating about?
Lu Jing walked over and gave Han Li's shoulder a light pat. Han Li rubbed his nose vigorously, trying to force a bitter smile, but for some reason the smile wouldn't come. So, with no other choice, he followed them out under the envious gazes of the male cultivators.
If I hesitate any longer, won't it just make me look guilty? I don't see why I should be afraid of her.
Outside the courtyard, Chen Xiaochen stood gazing toward the garden, her expression tender and lost in thought.
Walk with me in the garden for a bit. There are a few things I'd like to ask you, junior brother.
With that, Chen Xiaochen walked off without waiting for Han Li's reply, as if she were certain he would agree. Han Li watched her retreating figure, his brow furrowing unconsciously. After a moment's thought, he let out a silent chuckle and followed. Strolling with a beautiful woman, now that was a truly pleasant sight. Han Li kept his distance from Chen Xiaochen, admiring her graceful figure. He felt this trip had been well worth it. And whenever he recalled that steamy encounter with this stunning beauty from years ago, a certain indescribable thrill stirred within him.
I never expected that my brother and I both misjudged you. We always thought you only won the blood-forbidden trial through sheer luck. I never expected Junior Han to be such a master at playing the fool. Not only did he fool my brother and me, but I suspect all those experts present were kept in the dark as well.
Han Li had more or less expected Chen Xiaochao's remark, so he showed no particular surprise, merely scratching the back of his head.
Senior Chen is joking. Playing the fool to catch the wise? I just got incredibly lucky back then, barely scraping by.
Junior Han, are you still trying to fool me?
Chen Xiaochen seemed genuinely irritated by Han Li's words. Her voice turned cold, and she spun around abruptly, her bright eyes icy.
Seeing this, Han Li looked genuinely taken aback, as if he had no idea why Chen Xiaochen was angry. Seeing Han Li's expression only made Chen Xiaochen even angrier.
Fine. I won't ask you about the blood-forbidden trial anymore. But there's one thing you must answer me truthfully.
Senior Marshal Sister Chen, please ask away. I will answer truthfully.
Han Li sensed something was coming, and his unease deepened, but he kept up a facade of sincerity.
7 or 8 years ago, did anything happen to you on the eastern side of the Taiyu Mountains?
As Chen Xiaochen asked this, a faint blush crept across her cheeks, a hint of shyness coloring her demeanor. Then, she waited anxiously for Han Li's reply.
7 or 8 years ago, Han Li lowered his head in apparent thought, as if searching his memory, but inside his heart was pounding. How could she still not have given up on finding me after all these years?
And with that shy look on her face, could she really have fallen for the one who saved her?
This wasn't a case of Han Li being oblivious to romance. He had simply never entertained the thought of forming a dual cultivation partnership with this woman. For some reason, while Han Li did have normal physical thoughts about Chen Xiaochen, the moment feelings came into play, he automatically shut her out. Perhaps it was that scene of her being intimate with senior brother Lu all those years ago that Han Li still can't get past.